International Women's Day 2016, hashtag Pledge for Parity. This is Go. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. You're watching Go on Shaw TV's Channel 4. We are celebrating International Women's Day 2016. Hashtag Pledge for Parity. Our first interview, which will take place here at the Westview Ferry Terminal, is going to be with our MP, Rachel Blaney. Now, Rachel will be able to share with us her firsthand experience how parity between the sexes is reshaping our nation's capital. The first story coming up is with a young woman who, in spite of the fact that the music industry is traditionally and historically male-dominated, she has found her own inspiration to overcome some of those challenges. Here is Mike Brown. Music is historically a male-dominated industry, but young women like Miss Kelly and, of course, Lady Gaga and Taylor Swift and Adele are really shifting that balance. Now, joining me is a very special guest. This is Rachel Blaney. She is our MP for Powell River North Island. Now, Rachel, right now there's 338 MPs, 88 are women. Right. The current cabinet is equally split. Now that you're there, how are you finding the parity in Ottawa?
Well, I think it's very exciting that the cabinet is half female. I think it's great that 88 is the highest number of women that we've had, but we're still only at 26%. So I think we have a long way to go to encourage women to participate in politics. So it's a good thing, but we have a lot of room to grow, and I'm excited to see people working towards that.
Now, do you think, now that you've been on the ground up there for about 4 months now, right? Yeah. Do you think there's a will among the MPs to settle once and for all the disparity in pay in the federal government between women and men?
Well, I was really proud of Sheila Malcolmson, who's one of our MPs from Nanaimo, who stood up and brought forth a motion about pay equity. And happily, it was largely supportive and has moved forward, and there's actually going to be a standing committee on that. So the reality is, in equitable jobs, women are still getting paid 77 cents to every man's dollar. Right. Women are still underrepresented in leadership roles, on boards and so forth. So this is really about taking that next step. So I'm happy to see the federal government putting some resources behind that so that we can move forward and see our country doing much better. You know, right now it's 26% women in Parliament. The rest are men. When we see that reversed, we know that we've actually made a step forward.
Awesome. I hope we get to see that in my lifetime.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for your insights today. Really appreciate it. And congratulations again on earning the MP nomination, or the MP place. And good luck with Ottawa, because it's a lot to navigate. It's a lot to navigate, but I'm enjoying it, and I'm so grateful for all the constituents that are reaching out and telling me about their issues in their area. So hopefully people will continue to do that. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. And now we're going to head up to Campbell River, where we get the 19th edition of Rapid Fire, brought to us by Robin Nicholson of 99.7 Today FM. Thanks very much, Robin. Only 4 more Rapid Fires, and then that is the entire Campbell River Storm team. So you can go to our YouTube site and check them all out there if you happen to have missed any of them, and if you are a Campbell River Storm fan. Now, coming up after the break, we will have left the Westview Ferry Terminal, and we will be in Campbell River at the Maritime Heritage Center, where they have their annual weekly Rotary Luncheon. And we will be speaking with incoming President Kathy Cardell. Stay tuned for that. Welcome back. You're watching Go on Shaw TV's Channel 4. As promised, we are here at the Maritime Heritage Center in Campbell River. Joining me, Kathy Cardell, incoming president of the Rotary Club of Campbell River. Kathy, how have you witnessed the evolution of parity between sexes in the Rotary Club?
Well, 25 years ago, women were allowed in Rotary in Canada. And even in Australia, it was only 18 years ago that women started coming into Rotary. So in that short time, we've accomplished a lot.
That seems shocking to me, that just 25 years ago. We're talking like 1990.
That's right.
There was no women allowed.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So
and what about now?
Well, now I've just come back from a PETS convention, which is President-elect training in Seattle.
Okay.
And we've got about 10 districts there, and at least 700 president-elects are there. And I can say easily that 50% of those are women. The keynote speakers are women. Women are doing tasks and going on missions to help underdeveloped countries in education and health reasons. And it's fantastic,
Wow.
the difference that they're making. And being able to address women's problems that, even though Rotary's always been fantastic, more of the more sensitive women's issues are being dealt with.
That is extraordinary to me. And now Rotary is an international organization.
That's
so
right.
Are they somehow assisting on the ground to help other countries with parity? Because we know that Canada is probably one of the forefront.
Yeah, so definitely, like for instance, an example would be Africa, where women educators from Canada and from developed countries are going there to help African girls get their education and get them, such health issues like fistula, like birthing issues and things like that, where women are addressing that and going over there and helping there.
Well, Kathy, thank you so much for sharing your insights, and good luck with your presidency coming up in July. You take over?
July 1st.
July 1st, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, and now we're going to head down to the Comox Valley, where our volunteer reporter, Kate Brown, brings us an awesome little story about the Fireworks Art Studio. It's this week's Sweet Spot. That is gorgeous. Thank you so much, Kate, for bringing us that story. And thank you to Kathy Cardell, incoming president of the Campbell River Rotary Club. And now here is a Did You Know from Marjorie. I did not know that. I'm Mary Ruth Harris, and you're watching Go on Shaw TV's Channel 4. We have now arrived at the Rob Braun Center for the Immigrant Welcome Center. Coming up right after the break, an interview with Executive Director Jim Brennan. Welcome back. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. Joining me now, Mr. Jim Brennan, Executive Director of the Immigrant Welcome Center here in Campbell River. Now, you have a very unique perspective about this parity of sexes, because you work in an office surrounded by women.
Yes.
And you have experience of working in other countries.
That's right.
With women. Why don't you share some of that with us?
Well, I think I'm blessed to be able to do that. I think, the nice thing about that I enjoy in the work I do, working with women, is that they bring very, very good perspectives. We work with people all the time. And so what they do is they really look at it from all angles. They look at it, the pragmatic part of it, but they really look at the soft sort of skills that are really, really important to doing this work well.
Okay.
And so I really appreciate their perspective on that sort of stuff.
Now, you were sharing a story yesterday when we were talking about one particular woman who came from Sri Lanka. Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, I met her when I first came here before I was working with the Immigrant Welcome Center, and she came by herself to start generating income for her family back in Sri Lanka. And one of the things that she had a hard time doing, because she wasn't here with her husband or her kids, was actually going out by herself as a woman, because that's something she couldn't do at home in Sri Lanka. So it took her a long time, took her several years to be able to go out and actually just go out with friends, even if they were girlfriends.
Really?
Yeah, just because it wasn't something that you did on your own. It was something that you did with your husband. And typically they would talk through their husband and not directly to other men, for example.
Right.
Very, very different than here.
And of course, here in Canada, you have to talk to men and women.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
In the workforce and out on every day.
It's a privilege that we have.
Groceries, whatever.
That's right. It's the way we do it. So it's, when people say, well, this is a gender issue, it's a gender issue insofar as that we have to change the ideas around how women think about how women fit into our culture too.
Right.
It's not just the men.
Right.
How they maybe keep them from engaging in ways that are appropriate in their mind. It's the women too.
Right.
Because again, they've had those ideas for a long time, and they're stuck in their head.
So when you hear that the World International Forum is predicting it'll be the year 2133 before we reach parity around the globe, does that surprise you?
No, actually, it doesn't. These are very deeply held beliefs. These are not, and these aren't things that, you know, that you even think about directly. They're stuck in your brain. Okay. They've had them since they were little, since they were born. They
it's
see
almost
it.
Generic.
Oh yeah, it's like the 3 Gs. It's gender, it's geography, and it's generations. It's generational too. It's the 3 Gs really that keep people where they are.
Well, thank you for helping us understand what some of the
welcome.
challenges are for immigrant women coming to Canada. And good luck in your new position.
Thank you very much.
Keep us surprised of how it goes.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming.
All right, thank you so much. We're going to have a short little break, but we'll be right back. And now we are heading over to Powell River, where John McKenzie has hit the streets. We are celebrating International Women's Day, and the theme this year for 2016 is hashtag Pledge for Parity. This coming story is about women helping women. Have a look. PJs and Pearls is such a fun event. And it's a great way to raise awareness in the community around the issues faced by the women who are going to the transition house, as well as raise some funds to support them in their transition to a safe life. Thank you so much today to Rachel Blaney, who joined us. She is our MP for the North Island and Powell River, and to Jim Brennan, who is the Executive Director of the Campbell River Immigrant Welcome Society, as well as Kathy Cardell, who is the incoming president for the Campbell River Rotary Club. Thank you to each of you for sharing your insights and your experience. So celebrate International Women's Day, take to social media, hashtag Pledge for Parity, and get involved. Next week, we are in Powell River. Have a great week, and we'll see you then.